Well, it's June 5th, 2009. I'm sending a message to myself 20 years from now. No, just kidding. It's been about 2 years since you stopped filming, and a lot's gone on, I guess. I guess the most exciting thing is that my sister Marjorie and I have this speaking project that we've developed called Defying the Odds. And we've gotten the opportunity to speak at a bunch of places this year. Brain injury associations, rehab hospitals, schools. It's felt so good to be giving back to people in that way. And beyond that, it's a great experience when you can turn something that was a really awful, bad experience and twist it around into a positive thing. My experience playing music has deepened. It's funny. It's much more satisfying than it ever was in the past. I feel like there's a stronger connection between what's in my head and what comes out of my hands on the guitar.
I remember the first time leaving you alone with Ellie to go Christmas shopping.
Right.
And I must have called you every 5 minutes.
Right.
And now it's like you spend incredible amounts of time with her. You go places with her.
Yeah.
Take her to school. We all came together to see you through this thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't end there.
Right,
People maybe went home to New York and other places, but we see a ton of each other.
Yeah.
My family is around and a part of our everyday lives. It feels like feels very Walton-esque.
We've all been through something together.
Yeah.
Whenever my family's visiting, your family always wants to see them.
Yeah.
Like we got to figure out a way to get together.
It's one big giant family.
It's
an incredible gift, and I think an extraordinary way to grow up for Ellie.
Yeah, incredible.
Okay, so let's see. I came back from California fairly quickly. Actually, the first night that I was in California, I realized it was really a mistake to be there. I just was too far away from Jason and from my family after everything we had been through. So I stayed out there for a couple of months, and then I came back to the East Coast. And now I spend a lot of time with Jason going to hospitals and brain injury conferences talking about his recovery. And I have some writing projects going on right now, including a book about this experience.
Well, I'm still living in New York and doing a lot of practicing piano. I was doing a lot of that before, and I was writing some music when this happened, and I stopped that for a while, and I've taken that up again, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. I've been to a number of as we all have, a number of film festivals, and traveled around with Jason in that regard. But I'm not doing the weekly commute up to Boston, certainly, like I was.
Well, I'm a teacher, and I was lucky enough to have a school that supported me for a semester of being with Jason, and then I went back, and I've been back as a teacher ever since. Diminished my load outside of school somewhat so that I'm finally back to playing the cello, which is my love, and I didn't do that for about a year and a half during this whole thing. I'm a grandma of a 4-year-old now, and one of the joys is to be able to go to Boston and play with my granddaughter Ellie and see her with her mommy and daddy and just enjoying life like it's a normal thing that just a lot of people take for granted, and I think I will never be able to.
when you care about something, and helping Jason was the most primal caring about something, I feel the reverberation of that. So now when I'm working on something that I care about, doing each of the little steps has a different meaning for me. In my mind, I can think, I really care about what I'm doing. And I have, I think, more patience and endurance, and I think just an understanding of what it is to really apply my focus and discipline and attention and energy to each one of those little steps. I think it also gave us a fair amount of confidence. I mean, there's a voice in my mind when I'm up against something that just says, well, you've been up against some really tough challenges before, and you came through it. So, there's not a lot that compares to that.
You know, Dr. Carter said once to a group that we were talking to, the Kriglers had their own agenda. And I think that applies to my life personally. I much more have my own agenda now than following passively another agenda.
The whole thing was definitely a wake-up call in many ways, I think. And Jason talks about having more focus when he plays, but I think, I don't know about you guys, I mean, you're writing and you're teaching, and I'm working on music, and I feel more focused in what I'm doing, and I feel it does rearrange your perspectives, and it sort of takes you out of a complacency, not a complacency maybe, but you go through life and you're taking certain things for granted, and then something like this happens, and it really makes you stop and think and appreciate things. I know that if I have time, I live near a really beautiful park in New York, and if I have the time to do it, I'm much more likely now to just take a couple hours or whatever, if I can do it, and just go for strolls in the park and not feel pushed like, I've got to get such and such done. It really does rearrange your perspective, something like this.
Ellie, I'm going to be on the slide.
Oh my God! No!
No. Did I do it?
No.
Can I do it? It's a little scary. Say something.
I did the straddle jump.
Uh-oh.
Daddy,
I don't know if you can make it up there.
push.